Hello, my name is Revell Dixon and I am a black man with glasses, with short hair and wearing a black shirt. Welcome to Journey into Art, where I interview creative individuals who are well known in the arts sector, hearing about their journey throughout their careers, and to hear about the process when it comes to creating new work or projects. Today, I am in Leicester where I'll be meeting Ashokkumar Mistry. He's a multidisciplinary artist, writer and researcher where he explores disability as a valid catalyst for the creative process and has developed a number of exhibitions nationally and internationally.
I'm a brown man with grey hair, blue shirt and grey jeans with paint on them.
What has been your journey into art?
If you want to go all the way back, my journey into art probably starts when I'm about 7, and I painted a picture of 3 cats in a garden. And what happened was I have a lazy eye, so I wasn't allowed to do PE because they'd patch my other eye, my good eye. So they'd leave me in the classroom by myself to paint and draw and do all sorts of stuff. I'd make these massive installations out of bricks and stuff and paint things and so on. And one of the teachers found a painting that I'd made called Three Cats in a Garden. She put it into a children's art competition and I won one of the prizes. And ever since then, I've seen myself as an artist.
What is your process when it comes to creating new work?
I think a lot of it comes from writing. I don't really have much of a mind's eye, and I think a very abstract way, but through words. So it's not literal in the sense of it being like it's said. I use words in a very kind of poetic, but kind of back to front kind of way, and that's kind of where a lot of my ideas tend to come from. I think the step by step is a conversation. So, especially when I'm painting, I tend not to design something and then make it. It's very much about a conversation between myself and whatever I'm painting. And the painting usually tells me, which direction to go in or how to kind of pursue a particular look or a particular kind of feel within it. Whatever I'm creating really kind of dictates the direction. Sometimes I'll see something and it'll spark some kind of idea or interest. And what I'll tend to do is to write that out first in a poetic sense. So usually I'll work with emotions, themes around trust and safety and consent, that sort of thing. And I'll weave in the idea into that frame. And then from there, from that writing will come the piece, the visual piece. Like looking back, I've had a few real high points. I showed some work in Taiwan that was with a friend of mine called Kevin Ryan, who sadly passed away. But we created an exhibition called Creative Continuum, and that was so much fun because we were able to create a moment rather than just art. It wasn't about making individual pieces or anything, but it was very much about talking to people and responding and so on.
What are the biggest challenges?
I think the sector really holds people back. And the way the sector's structured, it's very, very ableist and it's very racist as well. And that combination of things, the way in which everything's very knee-jerk in terms of the way publicity and stuff works, that really holds a lot of disabled artists back, I think. It doesn't allow people to progress, so there's no real kind of sustained investment in people. We have so much focus on the commercial side of art, but a lot of, especially disabled artists, they're not really interested in being commercially successful or anything. And it's the way kind of value systems and things work in the arts as well.
Show me an object that represents you or relates to your artwork. Can you tell us about it and why is it important to you?
A piece of artwork that really represents me is my latest painting, which is really an unlearning of all the stuff that I had to learn through my life in art school and so on and so forth. Because it's very unapologetic. and it uses colour in a very unapologetic way. Colour is a really important part of me. I'd say it's kind of a bigger part of my identity than anything kind of cultural. And I guess colour, my sense of colour comes from my cultural background, but it's separate to it as well. I use colour to express not just how I'm feeling, but a feeling that I had in a moment. And this painting represents a feeling of seeing. It was a truck that was decorated for the last day of the sugarcane harvest. And it was decorated with all these streamers and things in different colours, so much so that you couldn't even see out the window, and yet it was driving down the highway. And it was about that that moment of actually seeing that truck and what that whole story behind sugarcane production for the people who make the sugarcane, who grow the sugarcane, what that represents to me.
What is your favourite place to visit?
I don't really have a favourite place to visit. I like travelling, especially to India, which is where my parents are from. But it's somewhere that I can't stay very long. I like visiting it, but then I miss home very much and I want to get back. I like to visit new situations, and by that I refer to like places that I've never been to before. So it might be a country, it might be a city. I like this sense of just exploring new places and finding little details and looking up the history of those places, try and understand where I've been. One of my favourite places to be is the studio, because I can let loose and I can do what I want. So I can sit here and write, I can paint, I can make stuff. And that's the freedom I don't really get in any other space. So I think my studio is one of my favourite places.
If you weren't an artist, what would you be?
If I wasn't an artist, I don't think I'd be very much use, because I can't really do much where either my life or someone else's life depending on it. I'd probably be, I don't know, if I wasn't an artist, I'd probably be a curator. I, the only problem with being a curator though is you miss making art. So yeah, I think I'll probably come back to being an artist.
What's the one thing you would change about the visual arts sector?
The one thing that I'd like to change about the visual arts sector is the power structures and the way that they work. So I try and create more support for artists right at the bottom, so at the grassroots level, and more opportunities for people to show work and to discuss work and start to get a dialogue together. If you want to make the art sector more appealing to people, then you need to include people more. So you need to think about opportunity, but also how those people are valued and how their idea of art is valued as well. What we tend to have is this kind of pseudo-intellectual kind of space in art where if you don't understand something, then you're seen as stupid or something, or you shouldn't be there. And I think that's wrong. I think the way that art is explained needs to really be thought about and developed more so that you can pull more people in.
How can people stay connected with Journey into Arts? People can stay connected by liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. From there, they can watch all the latest videos and be alerted for when new videos get uploaded onto the channel.